Hey there, this is the gun guy, Joel Persinger. Thanks for watching my videos. I'm actually on a little hike up the mountain here, so forgive me, I'm huffing and puffing. I thought I would take a break. This morning I was watching a video of Sheriff Joe Arpaio in Maricopa County, Arizona, and he was asking concealed carry holders in his county to step up and do something to protect people in the event of an active shooter incident where they happen to be in a public place and somebody comes in and starts killing people. And, I support that 100%, but it really illustrates the difference between Arizona and California. I'm a concealed carry holder in California in San Diego County, and I'm one of the few. I think there might be about 1,400 or 1,500 or something in the entire county, and the county has roughly 4.5 million residents. What's interesting about that, you say, well, that's not very many, and that's true. It's not very many. It's just nigh on impossible to get the permit in the first place unless you own a business or something. But there are a lot of retired police officers here who carry in their retirement because they have an HR 218 endorsement. There's a number of them that I qualify every year for their HR 218 endorsement, and then I know a number of retired police officers personally. And it's interesting to talk with them about this issue because they understand what I understand, and that is in this state, in the state of California, unlike Arizona, Nevada, and so many other places. First of all, law enforcement will say to you, and I had this happen, I was at a meeting with a bunch of other security contractors and so on, and had an active duty SWAT captain giving a presentation from the San Diego Police Department, and he said, if you're a retired police officer, concealed carry holder, and an active shooter incident happens and you happen to be there, we want you to take action. We want you to do something to defend people. And I thought, well, that's nice. And then I thought, absolutely. And then the more I got to thinking about it, and the more I talked to attorneys and other people that I know, the more I realized that in California, the minute I do that, I'm going to be persecuted by the media. I'll have them at my doorstep constantly, analyzing everything I did and armchair quarterbacking everything I did. I face potential prosecution by the San Diego County District Attorney's Office if I did even one tiny little thing wrong. If I didn't do everything right in a very fluid and dangerous situation, if I made one tiny little mistake, I face persecution and prosecution for years. I most certainly will face a lawsuit brought by the family of the terrorist or nutcase that I had to deal with my sidearm, if I shoot him or kill him or whatever. And so I could lose everything I have, and my family, my wife and children and I, be homeless and lose everything we've acquired, our home, our savings, our retirement, and everything, because I helped. Now, what's interesting is I have talked to a number of retired police officers in this state who have told me they feel exactly the same way. I recently had a retired police officer in a class of mine, and he said to me, we were talking privately, and he said, Joel, I will run, I will hide, I will do whatever I have to do to avoid taking a shot, because the minute I help, my life will be destroyed. And I'm not willing to have my entire life destroyed because I tried to help. So here we are in the state of California where we actually do have a number of people, even though the laws are quirky here, we have retired police officers and we do have people with concealed carry permits, a lot of whom are terrified of helping because they're afraid of their own stinking government. And we have terrorist attacks like San Bernardino the other day. Politicians will say, Donald Trump said it the other day, that if there were concealed carry holders in the room, there would have been fewer deaths. Well, in California, I'm not so sure, because the smart concealed carry holders are the ones that are going to protect themselves and their families only and try to find an exit, and whatever happens, happens, because they're not willing to have their lives destroyed because they tried to help. And that's a tragedy. That is a tragedy. First of all, we ought to have more concealed permits in this state anyway, but concealed carry holders and retired law enforcement shouldn't be put in a position where if they try to help before police get there, that they face the loss of everything and the destruction of their lives. But that is exactly what we face in this state. So I got to tell you, as much as I would love to help and would be driven by my conscience to help, if I'm in a place where I'm in a public place and an active shooter shows up, and I'm there with my family, I'm going to defend my family and myself. And if you're there, I'm sorry, but you're on your own. And you can say, well, that's unconscionable. Isn't your conscience going to harm you? That's going to bother you if you don't try to help, and people die because you didn't try to help. No, people die because somebody came in and killed them, and people die because I'm not willing to help because I don't want to be persecuted, prosecuted, and lose everything I own. If you're in California, guess what? You voted. If you're in California, guess what? You allowed these legal conditions to exist. If you're in California and you're in the middle of an active shooter situation and there's a concealed carry holder or a retired police officer that is not willing to help as a result, unless they are personally threatened, you have no one to blame but yourself. So I want to suggest to you that you get a hold of your congressman, senator, that you get a hold of your state assembly person, your state senate person, that you write the governor and you try to get these laws changed so that people like me who are carrying a gun in public, who can legally do it, can help without losing everything in their lives. And I guarantee you that if you're in that room at that time when I help, you'll be very grateful. But the minute I'm being sued into oblivion, you're not going to step up to defend me. You're not going to be there to put money in my legal defense fund. You're not going to be there to defend my wife and children and run the press off when they're camped at my front door persecuting the snot out of me. You're not going to be there, at my hearing when I'm arrested and prosecuted because I did some tiny little thing wrong. And then I'm going to be stuck. And I'm going to be saying, isn't that going to bother your conscience that you let my life be destroyed and you did nothing after I helped you? I'm sorry, but that's the situation. That's the way it is. I want these laws changed. I want to be able to help if I'm in a place where I can. But I want to be able to do it in such a way that my life is not destroyed and the lives of my wife and children are not destroyed because I did. And if you think these things don't happen, I have seen them happen to people, and I have been one of them. I once defended a woman with her 7-year-old child who was being attacked by 2 pit bulls. And when the dogs came after me, I shot one in the dead of night. The police came. They were told by me and witnesses what happened. People witnessed exactly what happened, and yet they arrested me for felony cruelty to animals and discharging a firearm in the city limits and wanted to prosecute me. Why? Because I helped a young woman and her 7-year-old daughter, and because I defended myself against 2 vicious animals who could have killed them and killed me. But still, I got arrested because of the state I'm in. What happens if I shoot a human being? What happens if I defend somebody during an active shooter incident? What's going to happen to me then? Oh, by the way, I had to pay for the dog. So if you think this isn't a situation, let me educate you. Concealed carry holders in this state, I've talked to a lot of them. Now, some of them will dive in there and help, but those are the ones that don't realize what will happen to them if they do. These laws need to change. I urge you, first of all, join the National Rifle Association. They're fighting against these things. You can do it on this link right here. I'm going to put it right here on the video for you. And if you don't see that link for some reason because you're on your phone or some other device where you can't see the link, then go down to the description and join there. Get a hold of your state assembly person, your state senator in the state of California. Get a hold of the governor and then that lunatic that wants to be governor, Gavin Newsom, and work to change these laws so that people who can carry, so that first of all, maybe you can get a concealed carry permit because you need one, and even if you don't want one, so that people who can carry, retired police officers and folks like me, can feel comfortable to get in there and help defend you in an active shooter incident. That's what we want to do, but because we're terrified of our own government, we probably won't. Anyway, that's my rant here and my blog for the day. I hope you have a great day. I know this is shocking stuff, and I don't want to leave you with that, but we got to work to change it, don't we? Anyway, with all that negative stuff, I guess what I'm going to say now is have a great week, and thank you very much for watching.